Hello, future officers. Welcome to Decoded. I hope all of you are doing very well and your studies are going well. Today, we are going to discuss the concept of even and odd numbers. Some of that we have already discussed in the previous lecture, but today we'll discuss it more elaborately. Okay, so before studying this even and odd numbers, we need to नो वन थिंग, हमें एक चीज़ जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि व्हाट इज़ डिविडेंट, व्हाट इज़ डिवाइज़र, व्हाट इज़ क्वेश्चन एंड व्हाट इज़ रिमाइंडर. फॉर एग्जांपल, आप सोचिए कि एक नंबर x है जिसको हमने y से डिवाइड किया. इसमें एग्जांपल लेते हैं कि 4 को हमने 2 से डिवाइड किया, तो 2 जो है 4 को पूरा काट देता है, तो इसका रिमाइंडर बचता है 0. इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर हम 4 को 2 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारे पास कुछ नहीं बचता, रिमाइंडर 0 बचता है. और जिस नंबर से ये वो होता है, डिवाइड होता है, उसको कहते हैं क्वेश्चन, यानी कि 2. सो अबव एग्जांपल में हम कह सकते हैं कि डिविडेंट इज 4, डिवाइजर इज 2, क्वेश्चन इज 2 एंड रिमाइंडर इज 0. ओके, सो नाउ इसको जानते हुए कि अब हमें रिमाइंडर समझ आ गया कि क्या होता है, हम बात करेंगे कि व्हाट इज एन इवन नंबर. एक इवन नंबर क्या है? इवन नंबर इज अ नंबर विच ऑन डिवीजन बाय 2 लीव्स रिमाइंडर एज 0. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर हमने 4 को 2 से डिवाइड किया तो हमारे पास कुछ नहीं बचता, रिमाइंडर 0 आता है. सिमिलरली, अगर हम 6 को 2 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो हमारे पास क्वेश्चन 3 आता है और रिमाइंडर 0 बचता है. तो इसका मतलब 4 और 6 दोनों क्या हैं? इवन नंबर्स हैं. या फिर हम कह सकते हैं कि एक नंबर जो कि 2 की टेबल में अपीयर होता है उसको हम इवन नंबर कहते हैं. जैसे कि फॉर एग्जांपल आप कह सकते हैं 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. ओके, फर्दर हम इसको ऐसे भी क्लासिफाई कर सकते हैं दैट एनी नंबर ऑफ द फॉर्म 2n इज ऑल्सो इवन वेयर n इज 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. अगर कोई भी नंबर इस फॉर्म का है जिसको हम 2n लिख सकते हैं तो वो भी इवन है. जिसमें जैसे कि अगर ये भी एक 2n की फॉर्म है जिसमें हमने n को 1 लिया तो 2 आया, n को 2 लिया तो 4 आया, n को 3 लिया तो 6 आया, एक्सेट्रा. तो हम कह सकते हैं ऐसा कोई भी नंबर जिसको हम 2n की फॉर्म में लिख सकते हैं वो भी एक इवन नंबर है. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? तो फिर से इस चीज़ को एक बार देखते हैं, रिवाइज करते हैं. व्हाट इज एन इवन नंबर? So any number which on division by 2 leaves remainder as 0 is called an even number. Further, any number which appears in the table of 2 is called an even number. Okay? Or any number of the form 2n is also even. Okay? चलिए, तो अब हम चलते हैं ऑड नंबर के कंसेप्ट पे. तो ऑड नंबर क्या है? अब जो भी नंबर 2 की टेबल में नहीं आएगा वो ऑड होगा. तो अगर 2 की टेबल में नहीं आ रहा है वो नंबर, तो वो 2 के डिवीजन पे क्या रिमाइंडर छोड़ेगा? 1. ये जाहिर सी बात है. अगर कोई नंबर 2 से पूरा डिवाइड नहीं हो रहा है तो वो, इसका मतलब 2 से डिवाइड करने पे रिमाइंडर 1 छोड़ेगा. इसका मतलब 2 की टेबल में नहीं आ रहा है. तो एनी नंबर दैट ऑन डिवीजन बाय 2 लीव्स अ रिमाइंडर एज 1 इज कॉल्ड अ ऑड नंबर. तो सबसे छोटा ऑड नंबर होता है 1 हमारे पास. ठीक है, उसके बाद होता है 3, फिर होता है आपका 5, फिर होता है आपका 7, फिर होता है आपका सॉरी हाँ, तो हम कहाँ बात कर रहे थे? ऑड नंबर के बारे में. एनी नंबर दैट ऑन डिवीजन बाय 2 लीव्स अ रिमाइंडर एज 1 इज कॉल्ड ऑड नंबर. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर हम 3 को 2 से डिवाइड करते हैं रिमाइंडर 1 आता है. 7 को 2 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो 2 1 2, 2 3 6 और रिमाइंडर बचा 1. सिमिलरली, अगर हम यहाँ पे 9 को 2 से डिवाइड करते हैं तो 4 इसमें क्वेश्चन आता है और रिमाइंडर बचता है 1. तो हम ये भी कह सकते हैं कि एनी नंबर दैट डज नॉट अपीयर इन टेबल ऑफ 2, जो 2 की टेबल में नहीं आता, डज नॉट अपीयर इन टेबल ऑफ 2 इज कॉल्ड अ ऑड नंबर. ओके, ऑड नंबर. जो भी नंबर 2 की टेबल में नहीं आता है उसको हम ऑड नंबर कह सकते हैं, या ऐसा नंबर जो 2 से डिवाइड करने के बाद 1 रिमाइंडर छोड़ता है. और एनी नंबर ऑफ द फॉर्म ऑफ 2n + 1, ये 2n+1 को, जैसे कि अब 2n तो हमको पता था कि ये क्या है, एक इवन नंबर है, तो उसमें अगर हमने 1 ऐड कर दिया, जैसे अब क्या है कि हमने जब किसी भी ऑड नंबर को 2 से डिवाइड किया तो रिमाइंडर बनाया, तो इसका मतलब हम इसमें 1 ऐड कर देंगे अगर 2n में, जो कि एक इवन नंबर है, तो वो एक ऑड में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा। आप समझ रहे, जैसे कि 2n को हमने 2 लिखा, 2 था तो n की पावर हमने n की वैल्यू 1 ले ली, तो ये बचा बना 2, इसमें 1 ऐड कर दिया 3 बन गया। सिमिलरली अगर हम n को 2 ले लेते हैं तो यहाँ 4 बच गया, इसमें 1 ऐड कर दिया 5 बन गया, और अगर इस n को 3 ले लेते हैं, इसमें 1 ऐड कर दिया 7 बन गया। तो आप समझ पा रहे हैं हम क्या कह रहे हैं? ओके, so now we'll revise it once again. What is an odd number? Any number that on division by 2 leaves a remainder 1 is called an odd number. Similarly, any number which does not appear in the table of 2 is also an odd number. Okay, or any number that can be written in the form of 2n plus 1 is also an odd number. अब हम कुछ एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं इवन और ऑड नंबर के, जैसे कि सबसे छोटा इवन नंबर है 0, उसके बाद है 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, ये चलता रहेगा। जो जो नंबर 2 की टेबल में आते रहेंगे वो सारे इवन हैं, और जो भी 2 की टेबल में नहीं आएंगे वो ऑड हैं। सबसे छोटा ऑड नंबर हमारे पास है 1, फिर उसमें 3, फिर 5, फिर 7, फिर 9, फिर 11। गेटिंग? सो क्वेश्चन डायरेक्टली इस पे जनरली नहीं आता है कि क्या ऑड है क्या इवन है। जो ऑड और इवन नंबर की आपस में फंक्शन करते हुए प्रॉपर्टीज है, व्हाट द प्रॉपर्टीज विच इवन एंड ऑड नंबर्स हैव, ऑन दोज बेसिस क्वेश्चंस आर आस्क्ड। सो वी विल नाउ गोइंग टू डिस्कस दोज प्रॉपर्टीज। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल we'll discuss about odd numbers. So what here the properties are, we can see them. So if an odd number, if two odd numbers are multiplied, we get a odd number again. For example, 3 into 3 is 9, which is a odd number. 5 and 3 both are odd number and results in 15. 15 does not come in table of 2, so 15 is also an odd number. 7 is an odd number, 3 is an odd number, and answer comes as 21, and 21 does not appear in table of 2, so 21 is also an odd number. सो जो ये प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, आप एक अपने पास पेपर रखिए और इसमें इस प्रॉपर्टीज को नोट कर दीजिए। आगे हम जाकर जब इसके ऊपर एक इलस्ट्रेशन और एग्जांपल लेंगे, उसमें इट वुड बी वेरी मच हेल्पफुल टू यू। ओके, सो लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड। अगर आप इफ वी ऐड टू ऑड नंबर्स देन वी गेट अ इवन नंबर। ओके, ऑन एडिंग टू ऑड नंबर्स वी गेट अ इवन नंबर। फॉर एग्जांपल 3 and 3 both are odd numbers, and on addition we get 6, which is a even number. Similarly, 5 and 3 are odd numbers, and on addition we get 8, which is an even number. Similarly, 7 and 10. Now if two odd numbers are subtracted, we also get an even number. For example, 3 minus 3, 0. 0 is also even. 5 minus 3 is 0. Sorry, 2. Which is also 5 minus 3 is 2, which is also a even number. 7 minus 3 is 4, which is also an even number. Similarly, if you divide an odd number by an odd number, you also get an odd number. For example, 3 divided by 3 is 1. Remainder, okay. So, if you divide two odd numbers, then you also get an odd number. I hope these properties are clear to you. So now we'll move forward. Okay. So here we are with even numbers. Okay. The properties of even numbers. So if even number is multiplied by an even number, we get a even number. If even number is added to a even number, we get a even number. If even number is subtracted from a even number, we get a even number. And if even number is divided by an even number, we might get an even number or an odd number. For example, when 2 is divided by 4, we get 2 as the quotient, which is a even number. And when 2 is divided by 6, we get 3, which is a odd number. Okay. Now, what if odd and even numbers are taken together? Okay. I hope you are writing down these properties. These would be helpful in solving the questions. Okay. So combination of even and odd numbers. अगर odd number को even से multiply करेंगे तो एक even number आएगा. जैसे कि 2 एक even number है, 3 एक odd number है, तो इसको multiply करने पे आया 6 जो कि है even number. 7 एक odd number है, 2 एक even number है, इसको multiply करने पे आया 14 जो कि एक even number है. Similarly, odd number plus even number also gives rise to an odd number. जैसे कि 2 को आप 3 से एडिशन करेंगे तो 5 मिलेगा जो कि अपने आप में एक ऑड नंबर है. 7 एक ऑड नंबर है, 2 एक इवन नंबर है, उनको ऐड करेंगे तो मिला 9 जो कि है ऑड नंबर. ओके. और एक ऑड नंबर को आप इवन से सब्ट्रैक्ट कर देंगे तो आपको फिर से क्या मिलेगा, एक ऑड नंबर. फॉर एग्जांपल 3 - 2 is 1 which is a odd number. 7 - 2 is 5 which is a odd number. ओके, you're getting. चलिए तो आगे देखते हैं. और अगर आप एक ऑड नंबर को इवन नंबर से डिवाइड करेंगे तो वो डिविजिबल नहीं होगा, इसको याद रखिएगा. ठीक है. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू यू. अब इस प्रॉपर्टी को हम फिर से विजिट करते हैं एक बारी सबको. ओके. सो when we multiply an odd number by an odd number we get an odd number. When we add an odd number to an odd number we get an even number. When we subtract an odd number from an odd number we get an even number. When odd number is divided by odd number we get an odd number. If even number is multiplied by an even number then we get an even number. If even number is added to an even number we get an even number. If even number is subtracted from an even number then we get even number. If even number is divided by an even number we get even or odd. Okay. अब कॉम्बिनेशन की बात करते हैं. अगर आप दो एक इवन नंबर एक ऑड नंबर को अगर आप सब मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो आपको क्या मिलेगा, एक इवन नंबर मिलेगा. ठीक है. फर्दर अगर आप एक ऑड नंबर को इवन नंबर में ऐड करेंगे तो आपको क्या मिलेगा, ऑड नंबर. ओके. अगर आप एक ऑड नंबर को इवन नंबर से सब्ट्रैक्ट करेंगे तो आपको मिलेगा ऑड नंबर. और अगर आप एक ऑड नंबर को इवन नंबर से डिवाइड करेंगे तो आपको कोई रिजल्ट नहीं मिलेगा, वो डिविजिबल नहीं होगा. ठीक है. आई होप दीज प्रॉपर्टीज आर क्लियर टू यू. So now based on these properties, actually the questions in UPSC are asked based on these properties only, which you have studied of even and odd number. Okay. So based on these properties, we'll try to solve some illustrations which have been shown here. So now let's see. Okay. Question goes like, if there are two numbers x and y both being odd, दोनों x और y क्या है, odd है, then which of the following is correct. okay. तो x plus y is an even number, पहला ऑप्शन ये कहता है. तो दोनों odd हैं तो हमने पढ़ा है कि odd plus odd क्या देगा, even. है कि नहीं. odd number plus odd number हमको देता है even. odd plus odd give rise to even, we have studied above. So x plus y means this odd, this is odd, and we add, we're getting an even number. This is correct. This option is correct. Okay. Now let's move on to another option. Okay. Now 1 is an odd number. Okay. But on adding these two they result in an even number. So even plus odd would give rise to, let's see the property, this we have already studied. Even plus odd would give rise to an odd number. So this option is incorrect. Okay. Now let's move on to another. We know that x plus y is x plus y is even number, isn't it? And 2 itself is also even. So even plus even. Okay. So even number plus even number give rise to an even number. So this option is correct. Okay. Now both are odd numbers. X is odd. This is odd number into odd number. So when we multiply two odd numbers, what we get? we get a odd number. Okay, so this option is not correct. So option A and C are correct. Now let's move on to another question. Okay, this is like if x is a number and x cube is odd, then which of the following is correct? Okay, and which of the following is correct? We know that one thing that, okay, so this question now is like if x is a number and x cube is odd, then इसमें से कौन सा स्टेटमेंट सही है आपका? ठीक है, this is like that. So हम एक चीज देखते हैं. One thing we have already studied, that if one odd number, okay, is multiplied by an odd number, okay, then we get a odd number. तो हम कह सकते हैं कि odd square हो गया. अब मैं इसको फिर से एक और odd number से multiply कर देता हूँ, तो ये आ गया odd number का cube मेरे पास. Okay. So from this illustration, if x is odd, then x multiplied by x is also odd, and x square multiplied by another x is x cube is also odd. So we can say that first statement is correct. Okay, so first statement is correct. Why? Because if x is multiplied by x and both x and x are odd, then x square is also odd, and when two odd numbers are further multiplied, it results into an odd number only. Okay, this is saying only x is odd. No, both x and x cube are odd. This is wrong. Second is only x square is odd. This is also wrong, because x is also odd, x square is also odd, x cube is also odd, and x to the power 4 would also be odd. Okay, this is saying x square is an even number, which is wrong. X square is a odd number. Okay, so from here we can deduce one property, that whenever we are given any odd, let's say we have, if we have a odd number n, okay, and its power is, let's say we are written n to the power y, then n to the power y is also odd, where y can be 1 2 3 4 5 6. okay, so we can say that अगर हमारे पास कोई भी एक ऑड नंबर है n और उसकी पावर y है, तो वो हमेशा ही ऑड होगा. what may be the power, okay, except y is equal to 0, because फिर वो 1 बन जाएगा. okay, y is not equal to 0, remember that. Okay, now we're moving on to next example, which goes like, there exists a number x such that x minus 1 is an odd number, then which of the following are correct? इसमें से कौन सा correct है? So the question is like कि we are given a number x such that x minus 1 is odd number. Okay, so which means we have already studied the properties. Now we will try to apply this property to solve this question. Okay, it is saying both x and x minus 1 are odd numbers. So let's say if x is 4, okay, then x minus 1, 4 minus 1 is 3. So x is even, but this is odd. Similarly, we can say that if x is 6, then 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. So we can say that x is even, but x minus 1 is odd. Okay, so this statement is wrong. Now let's move. Both x and x minus 2 are odd number. This is also wrong because x is not an odd number. Okay, now it's x minus 3 and x plus 1. Both are odd numbers. Okay, now we already have studied that if since x is even, so we've already studied that any number 2n is even and 2n plus 1 is odd. We've already studied that property above. Okay, this means now if x is 2n, let's say x is 2n because x is even, so 2n plus 1 would be odd, so this is odd. Okay, now let's talk about x minus 3. Okay, so x minus 3 is odd. Okay, now x minus 1 is odd. We are given that. Now we subtract minus 2 from it. So this is odd and this is even. So whenever odd minus even is there, we have already studied this property. This gives rise to an odd number. So x minus 3 is also odd. So this statement is correct. Now let's check this statement. We have already checked above that x minus 3 is odd. Okay, x minus 3 is odd. Now let's check about this. So it's like x minus 3. Okay, we can write it as x minus 3 x minus 3 plus 8. Okay, so this is odd and this is even. So odd plus even is also odd. So both of these are also odd. This statement is also correct. Okay, let's move on to another example. Let there are two odd numbers x comma y, then which of the following are definitely correct? Okay, this is saying which of the following is definitely correct. Okay, so when two odd numbers are added, so we get an even number. Okay, so x and y are odd, so when these are added it gives an even number. So this is not correct because it is saying odd number. Okay, when two odd numbers are subtracted, this gives rise to an even number. We have studied in the property. Okay, when two odd numbers are subtracted gives an even number, but it is saying odd, so it is not correct. X into y, we have already studied that odd number into odd number give rise to a odd number. Okay, so this is completely correct. So this statement is correct. Okay, now let's move on to another question. If a comma b comma c comma d comma e are natural numbers such that a into b plus c d minus e is even. Okay, then which of the following are correct? Which of the following is or are correct? Okay, so we know one thing, that to get an even in multiplication, okay, to get a even in multiplication, we need to have at least one even. So if odd into even is given, and this gives rise to even number. Okay, isn't it? And even into even also gives rise to a even number. Okay, so we are given this a into b plus c D minus E. Okay. So for checking the first one, since this is even, this complete multiplication is even. So if this is odd, then this into this has to be even. Okay. And for if this is odd, let's say, okay, then either, and this is also odd, so this A has to be even for that. Okay, this A has to be even. If let's say to bring an even number, we must have one odd and one even, or both even. Okay, so if this is odd, then these both can be, this can be odd and this can be even. This has to be even and this has to be odd. Okay, so from this we can say that A is a even number. Okay, because odd into odd would give rise to a odd number and even into odd would give rise to a even number. ठीक है, three of these cannot be odd because that would result into a odd number again. Okay, are you familiar, are you through with it? So now let's move on to another example. The question goes like, let there exist a number q, एक number q exist p exist करता है, sorry, such that p is equal to 1 plus q, where q is a product of 4 consecutive positive integers. Then consider the following statements. Okay, so statements are: p can be an odd number, p is not a multiple of 3, p can be a perfect square. How many of the above statements are correct? Okay, now let's try to solve this question. So let there be a number p such that p is equal to q plus 1. We are given that p is equal to 1 plus q, where q is a product of 4 consecutive positive integers. Consecutive integers मतलब एक के बाद एक जो आ रहे हैं, जैसे कि अगर हमने लिख लिया कि 2 3 4 5. ओके, सो अब q को हम ले लेते हैं, q इज इक्वल टू लेट्स सपोज 2 इंटू 3 इंटू 4 into 5. Okay, so this comes out to be 120. 120 is a even number. Plus 1, if we add 1, it becomes p. And adding 1, which is itself an odd, so even plus odd give rise to odd. Even plus odd give rise to a odd number. So p is odd. So this statement is correct. P can be an odd number. P is not a multiple of 3. Now it's 121. So yes, we can say that p is not a multiple of 3. This is also correct. P can be a perfect square. Yes, p is a perfect square. Okay, p is a perfect square because 11 into 11 is equal to 121. So p is a perfect square. This is also correct. So how many of the above statements are correct? We can say 3 statements are correct. Okay, so now we are done with these. So we'll try to solve the PYQs related to these topics which have been asked in UPSC Civil Services examination. Okay, so for that what you need to do is, you take out this UPSC Civil Services Prelims CSAT paper of 2024 Set A. Okay. Okay. So now we have this 2024 paper. We'll move on to question number 15 in this question paper. Take out question number 15. Let's take out question number 15 and try to read and solve this question on your own if you can. Try and solve it. Okay. The question is 2 to the power 333, 3 to the power 2 is divisible by which of the following number? Up now we know that we have already discussed that कि if there is an odd number 333 is odd number और उसका कोई भी पावर हो let's say x, so it gives rise to a odd number. Okay, and similarly if there is an even number और उसकी कोई भी पावर हो y तो वो हमेशा एक even number देगा. तो we can say that this is an even number and this is an odd number, and by using the property we know that even number plus odd number would give rise to a, come on, even number plus odd number would always give rise to a odd number. Now we know that odd numbers are not divisible by 2. Getting? So जिसमें भी 2 है वो इसमें हट जाएगा. This would be like this one, that that this number is divisible by which of the following? It is divisible by this and this but not by 2 because it's an odd number, so answer would be B. So you see how easily we are able to solve this question using those concepts we have learned. Okay, now we'll move on to question number 39 in set A of 2024 paper. Question number 39. Take out question number 39 and read it on your own. Try to solve it yourself. You can yourself do it. The question goes like that: P, Q, R and S are distinct positive integers. P and Q are odd and R and S are even. Okay. So this is like which of the following statements are correct. Okay, now let's see. Now P is odd and Q is odd and R and S are even. So P minus R. So P is odd and R is even. So odd minus even, odd number minus an even number would give rise to an odd number. So this is odd square, so this also becomes an odd number. Now Q into S, that is odd into even, would give rise to a even number. Okay, now further, though they both are multiplied, so odd into even would give rise to a even number again. So this is even, so this statement is correct. Now let's move on to another one. Now here Q is odd and S is even. So odd minus even would give rise to a odd number. This is odd. Okay. And Q already is odd. So Q square is also odd. So this is also odd. And S is even. So we know one thing, that odd into even is also even. So this statement is also correct. Now Q plus R, odd plus even. Q plus R is odd plus even. So this is also odd. Okay. And P plus S, odd plus even. This is also odd. Okay. This is also odd. So this statement is also correct. So this means that all the three statements are correct. Now you can easily see that using these properties we can easily solve this question. The question might seem to be difficult, but it's very solvable. Okay. Now we'll move on to question number 64 of this 2024 paper. Question number 64. Question number 64 you have read. So okay, the question is, we can take this question in the concept of natural numbers also, which we'll be discussing in the later videos. But if you want, we can solve it here also. Okay. So the question goes like, a question is followed by two statements 1 and 2. Consider the following question and statement. What are the unique values of x and y where x and y are distinct natural numbers? Okay. We have to find the value of x and y. And x and y are natural numbers. We know that natural numbers start from 1 and goes till infinity. Okay. Statement 1 is like x by y is odd. Okay. And x into y is 12. Okay. So x और y को हमें distinctively find करना है. So the question is like, the question can be answered by using one statement alone. क्या हम इसको यूज करके सिर्फ बता सकते हैं x वैल्यू y की वैल्यू? देखते हैं. या फिर सिर्फ इसको यूज करके बता सकते हैं, या दोनों को साथ यूज करके बता सकते हैं, दोनों में से किसी को भी यूज करके नहीं बता सकते. तो इसके लिए हम इसको सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करेंगे ज़रा. ओके. तो ये कह रहा है, पहले स्टेटमेंट 1 देखते हैं हम ज़रा. ओके. स्टेटमेंट 1, दिस सेज x by y is odd. So x by y is odd. So हम कह सकते हैं कि भाई x3 हो गया, y1 हो गया, ये odd आ गया. ठीक है. या x6 हो गया, y2 हो गया, तो ये भी odd आ गया. तो हम इसमें x और y को डिस्टिंक्टिवली तो नहीं बता सकते, क्योंकि x3 है यहाँ पे y1 है, यहाँ पे x आपका 6 है, y2 है. तो x और y की एक से ज़्यादा वैल्यू आ रही है, यूनिक तो नहीं आ रही इस स्टेटमेंट को सिर्फ अकेले यूज़ करके. सो इस स्टेटमेंट को अकेले यूज़ करके तो हम नहीं बता सकते. तो द क्वेश्चन कैन बी आंसर्ड बाय यूजिंग वन ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट अलोन. ईदर ऑफ स्टेटमेंट अलोन तो नहीं हो सकता ये. ठीक है, क्योंकि 1 से नहीं सॉल्व हो रहा है. हम स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 को चेक करते हैं ज़रा. ये कहती है स्टेटमेंट नंबर 2 कि x into y equal to 12. Statement number 2 says x into y is 12. Okay. So we can take it as ki x is equal to 12 and y is equal to 1, isn't it? So x into y भी 12 आ जाएगा. Or we can take x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 1, or we can take x is equal to 3, y is equal to 4, isn't it? So now स्टेटमेंट 2 को अलोन यूज करके भी हम नहीं बता सकते, क्योंकि स्टेटमेंट 2 की भी डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज हैं अपनी खुद की. ओके, सो स्टेटमेंट 2 की भी खुद के डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज हैं. पर अगर हम स्टेटमेंट 1 का ये वाला पार्ट लें, ओके, और स्टेटमेंट 2 का ये वाला पार्ट लें, सॉरी 6 इंटू 2 वाला, सॉरी 6 इंटू 2 होगा ये, और स्टेटमेंट 2 का ये वाला पार्ट लें हम, तो हम कह सकते हैं कि इन दोनों स्टेटमेंट्स को यूज़ करके हम दो डिस्टिंक्ट वैल्यूज़ निकाल सकते हैं, कि जिसमें x इज इक्वल टू हमारा हो जाएगा 6 और y हमारा हो जाएगा 2. सो वी कैन से दैट द क्वेश्चन कैन बी सॉल्व यूजिंग बोथ द स्टेटमेंट टुगेदर. सो देखते हैं किसी ऑप्शन में है ऐसा. द क्वेश्चन कैन बी आंसर्ड बाय यूजिंग बोथ द स्टेटमेंट टुगेदर बट कैन नॉट बी आंसर्ड यूजिंग ईदर स्टेटमेंट अलोन. सो आंसर नंबर सी इज करेक्ट. ओके, सो यू कैन इजीली सी that we can solve these questions very easily, very easily. Okay, now for 2024 paper this is done. Now we'll move on to 2023 paper. Okay, so we'll open the 2023 paper from here. Okay, 2023 paper we have set A. Set A question number 14. Okay, question number 14. Set A question number 14. You take out set A question number 14. Read this question and try to solve it on your own. Okay, the question goes like, there are 5 positive integers. We have 5 positive integers p, q, r, s, t. Okay, p, q, r, s and t. Three of the positive integers p, q, r, s and t are even and 2 of them are odd. मतलब इन 5 में से 3 even हैं और 2 odd हैं, और हमें नहीं पता वो क्या है. तो रैंडमली हम ले लेते हैं 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. इसमें से this is saying that 3 are even, so 2, 4 and 6 are even and 3 and 5 are odd. Okay, so p plus q plus r plus s minus t is even. So we already know one property, that we already know one property that odd plus odd is even, and odd minus odd is also even, and even plus even is even, and even minus even is also even. Okay, so let's say this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. So this is even plus odd. So even plus odd would give rise to odd, plus even. Even plus odd this is also odd. minus 5 minus 6 को ऐड करेंगे हम तो -5 -6, odd minus even, this is also odd. So odd minus odd is even. Okay, so this is definitely even. So this statement is correct. Now another statement is 2p plus q plus 2r minus 2s plus t. Okay, now here let's take it as key. We have taken p as 5 and let's write it down. 2 into, let's say we have taken p as 5 and q as 6. Okay, plus 2 into r we have taken as 3 and 2 into s we have taken as 2. Okay, and t we have taken as 4. Now let's see what happens. So it is, since we are not given that what is the value of p, q, r, s, t, we are randomly taking it to be the consecutive integers and trying to put them to see what happens. Okay, so this is saying ki this expression would definitely be odd. Let's check if it is like that. So this expression would give 10 plus 6 plus 6 minus 4 plus 4. This gets subtracted, so it is 22. The answer comes out to be 22, which is even. So this statement is incorrect. So we can say only statement number 2 is correct. This is B1. Okay, now come to question number 8. Question number 15. Let's talk about question number 15. Okay. Consider this question we can also take in the term of when we will be discussing the composite and prime numbers. So let me tell you here briefly that what is a prime number. Prime numbers are numbers which have itself and 1 as only factors. Example 2 is 2 into 1. Example 3 is 3 into 1. Okay, and composite numbers are the numbers which have more than 2 factors. Okay, so it is saying consider the following respect of prime number p and composite number c. So this is saying कि हमें पता नहीं है कि वो नंबर क्या है first of all. So it is saying p plus c, p is prime and c is composite. So it is saying p plus c, p minus c. So let's say p is a prime number and let's say 11. It is 11. So 11 plus 9 upon 11 minus 9. Let's say what is the answer. 11 plus 9 is 20 minus और यहाँ 2 आया. So we get 10, which is the even number. So it is saying that p plus c upon p minus c can be even. So this is correct. Now it is saying कि 2p plus c can be odd. So क्या ऐसा कर सकते हैं हम कि इससे odd number आ जाए? तो let's try कि एक odd number 3 ले लेते हैं हम इसमें. ठीक है, तो 2 into 3 और उसी का मल्टीपल 9 ले लेते हैं. तो this is 6 plus 9 is 15, which is odd. So this statement is also correct. P and C can be odd. Okay. So P and C can be odd or not. Let's see. Let's say 3 into 9 is 27. Where P is prime, C is composite, so it can be odd. So this is also correct. So we can say 1, 2 and 3. 3 statements are correct. Okay. Now here we are done with 2023 paper. Now we'll move on to the question paper of 2022 set A. Okay. 22 paper set A. Okay. So here we need to go to question number 67. Take out question number 67 and try to read it and solve it on your own. Okay. Read the question and try to solve it on your own. You can do it easily. It is a very easy question. Since you know all the properties, this can be solved easily. Okay. So the question goes like, consider the following statements in respect of two natural numbers p and q such that p is prime, okay, and q is a composite number. Okay. So we have already discussed what is a prime number and what is a composite number. Okay. So now what we'll try to do is see if the this thing this is the same type of question which was asked, which was there in 2000 and which was there in 2023 also. It's saying that p into q can be odd. Yes, let's see. If p is prime, let's say 3 is a prime number and 9 is a composite. It gives rise to 27, which is an odd number. So this statement is correct. Another is q by p can be prime. Okay, let's see. Now q is composite. So a composite number can be 4 and prime number can be 2. This gives rise to 2, which is a prime number. So this statement is also correct. P plus q can be prime. So prime plus composite. Okay. 3 is prime and let's say 4 is composite. So it gives rise to 7, which is also a prime number. So this statement is also correct. So 1, 2 and 3, all of these are correct. Okay. Now we will discuss. Now in 2021 no question was asked based on prime and composite number. So we will shift ourselves to 2020 paper. Take out 2020 paper set A. Okay. 2020 paper set A. You have to take out. And there you go to question number 34. Okay. Question number 34 you must go to. Question number 34. This is like, consider the following sequence of numbers. How many odd numbers are followed by odd numbers in the above sequence? Okay. So how many odd numbers are followed by another odd numbers? So we can say that Let's say this is the odd number 5. It is followed by 1. So this is 1. Now 1 is odd number is followed by not good. So 7 is odd and it is followed by 3. Okay. So we can say 5 and now 7. Now 3 is odd, it is followed by 9. So 3 is also there. Now 9 is odd, it is followed by 8. This is not good. 5 is odd and it is followed by 7. This is fine. Now 7 is odd, but it is followed by 2, which is not acceptable. 6 not. So 3, it is followed by 1. Okay, so 3 comes. 1 is followed by 5. Okay, this comes. Now 5 is followed by 8, which is not going to. 6 not. 3 no. 5 2 2 4 3 4. Now 9 is odd and it is followed by no. So we can say that there are 6 numbers, odd numbers, which are followed by odd numbers. If you, we can do it again. Let's say now the first odd number is 5 and it is followed by 1, which is also odd. Now let's go for 1. 1 is odd, but it is followed by 4, which is even. So this would not be taken. Now another number is 7, which is odd, and it is followed by an odd number 3. So 7 would be taken. Now another number is 3, which is odd, and it is followed by 9, which is odd number. So this is also this is 3 is also taken. Now other odd number is 9, which is followed by 8. So it is not taken. Now 5 is odd, it is followed by 7, so it is taken. 7 is odd, but it is followed by 2, so it's not taken. Let's move on. These are even. This is odd. Now 3 is an odd number, which is followed by 1. 1 is odd, which is followed by 5. So 3 and 1 both are taken. Now 5 is the odd, which is followed by 8. Now this is even, odd followed by even, odd followed by even, odd followed by even, odd followed by even. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So answer would be 6. So 6 odd numbers are followed by another odd numbers. So we are done here for today. In the next, we will take on the prime numbers and composite numbers. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you very much.